so we're back for another season of Counting On. Can you tease what fans are going to get to see this season?
Well, there have been a lot of exciting events, fun family things we've been doing together, and then there have been a lot of baby girls born. And so exciting, so much fun. Get to follow different birth stories. I know women are all about that. And so that's been great.
Yeah, and there's also some fun guy activities, and there's even a holiday episode. So you get to kind of
ugly sweater party.
Yeah,
we go all out.
Oh my gosh, so fun. Speaking of the babies, what was your reaction when you found out your sister Jinger was expecting?
When I found out Jinger was expecting, I was so excited for them. I know that they had just been dreaming of Felicity being a big sister and getting to watch that relationship, and so we were so happy for them.
We've been going through kind of a crazy time right now with the pandemic. Can you kind of explain how your faith has helped you both through this kind of troubling time?
Yeah, so for us, like this pandemic has been, in a lot of ways, we've just tried to be optimistic and just look on the bright side and think about, all the things that we can use this time, say when we're stuck in the house more, to spend more time as a family. So there's that side of things, but also there are times when, it just kind of gets to you and you're looking around at just, the world is a crazy place. And so for us, as Christians, we look to God to give us, confidence and hope that no matter how dark things are, there is a brighter tomorrow. And we can trust in that because we've seen what God has already been doing in history, what he's been doing in our lives, and what he's continuing to do. And so yeah, that just gives us a lot of hope and confidence, and just the ability to press on and keep going and doing the next thing, and hopefully be strong enough to have resources to look outside of ourselves and help those around us. I mean, that's the goal. We want to be able to have enough hope and enough confidence and enough joy to be able to share that with others and help them find that as well. So that's really our desire through all this, is that, yeah, we would not just make it ourselves, but be able to help others make it too.
And then another big plot line that's going on this season is your sister Jinger is moving to LA. Were you guys surprised when she told you that she was planning on making that move?
Ginger and Jeremy had taken a couple of trips out to LA, and they had some friends there, and we were just talking to them on the phone one night because we communicate with them quite often. And we said to them, y'all just seem like you belong in California. And they looked at each other and they were like, actually, we're thinking about moving there. And then it wasn't long after that they actually decided to move. And so I wasn't really surprised because Ginger has always loved big cities, and she just is so adventurous like that.
Yeah.
Even though she grew up in small town Arkansas, she's always loved whenever we traveled to big cities together as a family and stuff. And so I just always saw her being in a big city one day.
Yeah, and we got kind of excited about them being out there because, it gives us an excuse to go to Los Angeles.
Yes.
And, we got to go out there and visit them, right? So yeah.
Would you guys ever be interested in making a similar move to a city like LA or any other big city? Or is it just kind of, you guys just want to kind of visit those kind of places?
I would not mind. I would love to live in a big city.
I'm a small town girl.
We'd have to make the decision together. So I guess I would mind. I would love to live in a big city. Also don't mind living where we live now, which is not as, it's, there's a decent amount of people here, but it's not like a big city feel here in Northwest Arkansas. So I don't mind living either place. If we did move to a big city one day, we would just have to both be really convinced that that's where God wants us to be. I think that would take a little more for Jessa because she kind of likes the smaller town feel, and I tend to like the big city, but
I like the conveniences of your grocery store is close by. You have restaurants and stuff like that, but I don't like traffic. and I don't like a lot of noise, and I just kind of like that, I don't know, like 10 minutes in traffic is too long.
Yeah, I like being around people and just the opportunities to meet new people, make new friends. And yeah, so I don't know if that's part of it, but yeah, right now though, we don't have any plans to move. So all that's just conjecture. Like we're not, yeah, right now our roots are down pretty good here in Northwest Arkansas. So we're just staying put, at least for the next several years. We don't have nothing on the horizon as far as a big move, but we wouldn't be opposed to it if we saw that's where God was leading us.
Kind of switching gears, I read recently that you guys said that you're open to adoption. Can you tell us a little more about that and why that's something that you guys are interested in?
Yes, a little while back, we went to an adoption information meeting, and just we're kind of getting some more of an idea of what the adoption process looks like, and looking at differences of doing fostering to adopt versus private adoption, and both international and domestic. So we've just been trying to connect with a lot of different families that have adopted and hear their stories, and we've been taking in a lot of advice. And so the stage that we're in right now is we haven't started paperwork yet. We're actually kind of contemplating our house situation right now because we're in a 2-bedroom house and we've got 3 kids already. So we're either going to need to add on or buy a bigger house. And so that's kind of something that we're talking about right now. And so before we really make a move there, we're going to have to consider our house situation. But it's definitely something that's been on our heart for a long time. Even before we were married, something that we really talked about, and both of us said, I want to adopt him. You want to adopt me? This is great. Like, we both have that passion in common. And so something that over the years, even as we've had our own kids, like it hasn't gone away, it hasn't diminished, and it's still something that we're open to.
And I know you just brought up your 3 adorable children. As parents to more than one child, what's some advice you would give to newly expecting parents or parents who are about to have maybe their 2nd or 3rd child?
I think the transition for us from 1 to 2 was pretty rough. I think sometimes it has to do with your individual child's like personality.
Some kids are easier than others.
Yeah.
Some are like more high maintenance, others are more laid back and just chill. So that can play a big part.
So I think transitioning from 1 to 2 felt more difficult for me. And then Ivy was just such a laid back child that going to 3, I felt like, okay, yeah, it was different, but you kind of just get in your groove and you try to figure out a routine and nap them all at the same time, feed all at the same time, and you figure it out. But I guess it's different for each person, really. I've heard a lot of people say that 2 to 3 was way harder, but yeah, in my experience, it wasn't.
Well, and that's something that I've seen and I've heard other parents talk about, and especially like moms talk about, is it really helps to have a kind of mom support group, like have other moms that are in your stage of life that you can like go and do things with, and you're not just on your own trying to take your kids out to the park, but maybe there's some other moms in your area that are doing the same thing. You guys can get together and do that together. And definitely. So anyways, I've heard that type of thing can be really helpful. I know Jessa has that, and it just, then you have also just a built-in network of people you can ask questions to, like, hey, how do you deal with this? And I have a question about this. What do you do? Maybe even some moms that are a step ahead of you in the process can be helpful. So yeah, having friends that you can talk to in person like that is really that's a really helpful thing.
And I know that you both are very open about sharing about your personal lives with your fans, and a lot of your experiences I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. Why is that something that both of you like to do and share with the fans?
I think there's nothing that we walk through that we're the only one in the world who's ever experienced this. And so as we face different challenges and difficulties, for instance, Henry's speech delays, that's something that we talked about in the last season. Also in this season, you'll see an update how he's developing and all of that. For us as parents, that was scary. It was something like, what are we doing wrong? Are we the only ones that are going through this? And then when you start talking about it, you realize there are hundreds of thousands of parents who are in the same situation that we're in, and they're worried and they're concerned. And as we're getting help and we're going to the speech therapy session, you're just thinking, wow, like there are some people that are dealing with this right now. And it's great to know that you're not alone. And also you can get so many different helpful ideas and different tips and tricks that other people are doing to help their child or whatever the situation is. And so it's great to just open up and talk about those things. We're all human. We all deal with different things. And yeah, it's just good to be open.
And do you think being on the show has brought you two closer together?
I think life in general is just growing and learning, being married now for 5.5 years. There's just so many experiences that we've already been through together. And I'm sure that over the next, 20, 30 years, there'll be a lot more. But yeah, I just think the further we get into marriage, the more in love we are, the more we know each other. And it's crazy how every once in a while there'll be something that he'll say, and I'm like, I did not know that about you. How did I not know that about you? A different experience or a childhood story or something like that. I'm like, I have never heard this before. Like, how have I not heard this? How did I not know this? And so you're always learning new things about each other. We really just make it a point to cultivate our marriage. Sometimes with kids in the mix, it can feel like you don't have enough time together. Kids are up late at night or up in the middle of the night, sleep deprived or whatever. You just feel like, how are we going to make time to connect as a couple? One thing that we've really tried to prioritize is having date night weekly. And I think that that's been really good for us to just be able to talk and communicate, have like 2 or 3 hours, usually without the kids. And then sometimes even during the coronavirus season now, we'll just like put them to bed early and maybe get takeout or make a meal together and just have good like one-on-one time. And so that's been really, I think, essential for us in maintaining and building our marriage relationship.